Holy good gosh! What was that chapter? TATSUKI Fujimoto, in one fell swoop, has pretty much changed everything in Chainsaw Man Part 2 now. In reality, what we have been calling the Death Devil is actually Famine, and what we've been calling Famine is the Death Devil. So what in the world just happened in this chapter? Honestly, I don't know, but I'm gonna try my best to cope and not lose consciousness and explain it the best I can. If you are here for weekly Chainsaw Man content, then this is the channel for you. Let's get this video to 1,250 likes, and we are almost to 10,000 subscribers. So if we can get 115 subscribers with this video, we could supercharge the march to 10K subs and get there in no time. Alrighty, so this chapter was certifiably dope as hell. One of the best twists I've ever seen in Chainsaw Man. So be warned, this may actually take more than just one video to cover everything that happened in this chapter thoroughly. Expect much more content than usual this week, that's for sure. So we as a community have been bamboozled, and at the same time, I think totally justified. The theory that Fami was behind all of this is 100% confirmed, but at the same time, Fami is in reality death all along, and Fujimoto really wants you to know that who is in reality Famine is actually one of the most useless devils that we have probably ever seen. Like, dang! At least Himi Nation lived up to her devil name, the Irrelevant Devil. Ah, very funny joke, Ben, but okay, really, Himi Nation is to not be fucked on, so don't be fucking on her, okay? So Fami right off the rip begs and pleads for Chainsaw Man Devil to spare her. So she is like, hey, listen, Chainsaw Guy, there's like 2,000 yen in my shirt pocket. Just take it. I mean, this was just, this was hilarious. I love that Fami thinks like giving a devil money will save her from her fate. Like, I'm not gonna lie, not even Asa Mitaka, very fun name to say, would stoop to the lows of pleading with a phony to spare her, because Asa would just give him money to kill her. So if we're ranking girl failures here, Fami may be up there with Asa Mitaka and Kobeni, guys. Not even gonna lie. I also cannot wait for this to be animated by whatever in the hell is left of Mappa in 35 years, because they have to get the perfect VA to voice Fami's Eep. Oh, so good. But this is where things get so intense as well. Fami goes on to say that she doesn't care about conspiracies, only saving mankind. So Chainsaw Devil is like, through death, and proceeds to essentially say exactly what we have been saying for the past month or so, like down to a T, which at this point, I knew for a fact Fujimoto was about to drop something on us. I just didn't know what it was going to look like. I like to call these moments Attack on Titan moments. Like, you know, when Reiner and Barclophagus just randomly drop the bombshell that they are Titan shifters. Spoilers for a 10-year-old series, by the way, but same exact kind of energy here as well. And the Chainsaw Devil and Justice Devil, they are confident that this just has to be death. He even says that they see right through them. And once again, I think there is some important verbiage we need to keep track of. Why is the Chainsaw Man Devil referring to Justice and himself as if they're separate people? It makes me think more and more that Fujimoto is trying to establish that Justice was eaten by the Chainsaw Man Devil. I just have this gut feeling that what he is saying isn't something we should gloss over. Those words are intentional. After all, it would make sense with my fake Saw Man theory, huh? And I also now believe that the Chainsaw Man Devil may not even be an antagonist for the series, but maybe an honest-to-God protagonist to at least some degree, maybe at least just for this arc. Because Chainsaw Man goes on to say that he believes in a world where there is hope, that despite how awful it is to live in this world, people still try to do their best. And so Chainsaw and Justice try to nurture and protect that hope. I actually really jive with this message because it is an ideal that I believe in my own life and tried to lead and live by. I just think that the mentality that we should just destroy everything and watch the world burn, it's so immature and short-sighted. After all, it is much easier to destroy than it is to build. So what use does reverting all progress back to zero do? I think as well there is a major flaw in that way of thinking. If the world has nothing to live for and protect, then why is this mentality so pervasive in the first place? Well, I think it's because we had hope at one point and something to live for. The disappointment comes from knowing we can do better as people. So, like, this way of thinking to me is very contradictory in nature, because if there was nothing to ever live for at all and protect, then we wouldn't even have to say it needs to all be destroyed and burned down. Does that make sense? The need for the burning it down part is because we know we can do good and have done good before. I don't know. I just think that Chainsaw Man Devil is right here, which makes me think he probably won't be a baddie. Why would a baddie have some objectively, on point and positive viewpoint like this anyways? I mean, he's a devil, right? It's just weird. So he tells Fami that things like righteousness means nothing to her because she's the death devil, right? She then sucks the life out of the ants and puts herself back together in like a jiff. And at this point, I knew it was coming, so I just had to brace myself. Fami wasn't lying when she said that she absorbs life to save people via death. And she is one of the 4 horsemen feared by everyone. But she's not the death devil. This is in reality the famine devil, aka Fami. And yeah, that's right. The Fami we thought was Fami for so long is reality death. In one of the craziest moments, Death appears and calls upon the Falling Devil, which we do know she has because of the end of the Falling Devil arc, and so she crushes both Fami and Chainsaw Man with her abilities. So I guess we get 2 awesome reveals back to back, but in all of her glory, the Falling Devil, she's returned, and I absolutely adored everything about her the last time we saw her. Just go back and watch those videos, and just like before, she pops up with a chef one-liner. May I take your order? Oh, she's just so gosh darn cool, man. Oh, I'm so happy to see this devil return. And the fact that it is Death who is controlling her makes me think that, oh my god, it just opens so many possibilities. The Blood Devil is most likely in Death's bag of tricks. Maybe even, I don't know, the Bomb Devil or something. I don't know. Maybe that's getting too far, but it just makes sense, at least for the Blood Devil. I mean, this is the second time we've seen Death summon a devil using one of her little figurines of sorts. And with Yoru telling Denji Blood is likely to show up with Death, it just all makes sense and goes full circle from here, doesn't it? I'd bet good money Death has Gyoni, Falling Blood, and even Control as well, which is another thing. Death was very calculated in how she went about dealing with her sisters in Part 2, because Control was reborn as Nayuta, and War was reborn into Asa's body. They couldn't have known that Death was lying about her identity, because they don't remember her. So Death seems, or at least so far, very deliberate in how she went about this. She was quiet on purpose because she knew her identity was safe and she didn't have to do anything. And with Fami, the only one really knowing who she truly is, it would make sense why she would take her identity. I mean, look at this girl. She is a pushover in every sense of the word. No way you would expect her to do anything. So in, quite possibly, one of the best and most memorable moments in Part 2, if not the most memorable moment, and surely in the top 10 best moments overall in Chainsaw Man history, Death standing on a rail tells Falling it's up to her. Chef's choice. And so she serves up blood sauteed human and giraffe. Yum, very delicious. Ugh. And what is so funny, though, is that the Falling Devil serves up both Chainsaw Devil and Fami. Like, bro, Death is so cruel. But I guess it would be tactically advantageous for her to try and kill her as well. After all, she'll just be reborn somewhere else, and that also means getting the most useless one out of the way, too. Basically, I kind of viewed this as her strengthening up her defenses by getting rid of, well, the weak ones on her group, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. Very redundant today, I am. What's even more hilarious is that while serving her up, she apologizes to her for using her name. Like, what is Fami supposed to say here? Like, oh yeah, it's okay, bro. I forgive you for using my identity and all that. Also, don't worry about you trying to murder me and eat me and serve me up as food. We're chill, bro. We're chill. We're cool. But still, we gotta get the best VA for Fami in the anime whenever it is animated, because just, she responds with just another screech, and I I need it. I need it, y'all. I need the anime. I need it. So Fami responds to Death by saying that if she feels anything for mankind, then she will die right away. And besides, this being another humorous way to present something like it, she is actually being literal here. I think this reveals that Death feels absolutely nothing for humans, and at this point likely cannot be trusted to do anything good for anyone. I actually think that Death telling Fumiko and Yoshida that she liked hanging out with Asa and stuff, how she had fun, I think that was mostly just a red herring. Still true, mind you, but Death works in mysterious ways, it seems, that's for sure. And yeah, I don't think she's going to be good at all. So she lifts up her skirt to reveal her hole. The hole in her torso she opened to remove her guts to show Fami that she can't die. Now, okay, I think that where we go from here, it's going to be very complicated. On one hand, it seems that this 100% confirms that Death cannot die. She is, for all intents and purposes, immortal and indestructible. So does this not force the theory that Yoru is trying to get Pochita to eat war to erase Death and start a perpetual war? If that is the case, then does this make Death the ultimate villain of Part 2 and Yoru the ultimate villain of a Chainsaw Man Part 3? I don't know. I'm not going to get too ahead of myself here, but I just feel like Chainsaw Man Part 2, so far, it's just all been set up slowly to have Death be eaten by Chainsaw Man, only for Yoru to take control of everything and wage war forever, which would force Denji to face Yoru and maybe even Asa Mitaka. That's kind of the 1,000-yard version of what I think is happening based on my very first impression. So yeah, there's definitely going to be more videos about this chapter this week. Give me your thoughts and theories in the comments below. This one is a doozy. We'll absolutely be making more content. It's just about all the stuff that has changed after this chapter. Let's also get to 10K by the time chapter 200 comes out, so subscribe. As well, join my Discord, where we discuss Chainsaw Man, Dawn to Dawn, seasonal anime, and just tons of other stuff. The bi-weekly devil is vanquished, and we will be here next week for new Chainsaw Man content. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.